All right, welcome back. This is 4.4 for my pre-calculus class, video number 2. Okay, we just finished doing the tangent just now. Now, for this one, I'm going to find out what is this cosecant thing at angle 5.4. That angle can be anything. Let me change that 5.5 pi over 4 to maybe, let's do 2 pi over 3. All right, 2 pi over 3. That can change, but most likely you will not see any strange angles here. The angles that they put are simply the angles that you have on a unit circle, because this is a test of how you'll use your value around the unit circles to come up with the answers here. And I'll show you the calculator just to prove that we're not doing anything crazy here. Okay, we'll get the right answers, but our job is not to use calculator in the beginning. So let's see. Cosecant, you must remember this first. Cosecant of any angle theta is 1 divided by sine of the angle theta that you had. All right? So basically that's what that is. So first off, I'm going to say this is 1 over the value. The sine, we talked about that. That's your y value. So the y coordinate point at that angle, what is it to put at here? So we're gonna go back and look for my 2/3. So this is my 2/3 in radian. Now they could have put in degrees as well. So they could have said, what is cosecant at 120? Because 120 is the same as 2/3, all right? So now I'm gonna take the sine. So the sine is √3 over 2. So I'll just put it here, √3 over 2. Now, many of you guys are really good with this dividing 1 by a fraction here, but if not, then all you have to do is flip your 3 over 2, or √3 over 2, and then multiply here. So the reciprocal, that's what I meant. So put 2 on top and √3 here, and then this is done. Because you flip it and multiply with the numerator. So now if you time them out, it's just going to be the same, but we're not going to keep the root in the bottom. So there's no square root allowed in the bottom of your fractions. So you just have to multiply this bottom by a square root of 3 to make a root of 9. Root of 9 will kind of turn out to be a 3 on its own. Then that root of 3 that you multiply both the top and the bottom with will get attached to a 2. So basically that's the answer here. Let me show you my calculator, see if that's the truth. Okay, see if that's right. I only use it to verify my work. So let's see. First, I'm going to say, what is the number 2 times √3, and then divide by 3. So 2 times √3 divide by 3. That number is going to be some wacko decimal points. That's okay. Now, this cosecant here do not have a button on the calculator. So how do you do that? Just type 1. Divide by, just like this, 1 divided by sine. So you use that instead of the cosecant because you don't have that button. Then I hope my calculator is in radian mode. I'll check it if the value that I get is going to be something strange. Okay, so 2 alpha divide by 3. I hope it's the same. Oops, it's not the same. So my suspect was that is not in radian mode here. Okay, so I'm going to go to degree there. I took the mode. I'm going to look at this. It says degree. I should be highlighting the radian mode. Enter. Then I'll just quit that screen there. If I go back and hit enter, I can do second, enter. So now I know what I'm trying to calculate. You don't have to retype it. Bam. These two answers are the same, so that means this here is the same as this by going through my reciprocal. Okay, so that's one of them. I'm going to make this a bit longer, so this video would be a little bit longer. Anyhow, so I got secant done. Let me see what. Let's do. I got cosecant done, so let's do a secant of the same value. Okay. This should make it easier. So secant is 1 over cosine. Just remember that. You have to know those inverse functions. So you got 1 over cosine of this value. Cosine is the x, as talked about in the last video. So this would be 1 over the x value of this angle at 2/3 pi. So you can see that this value here is -1/2. So just toss in -1/2 there. So that should be easy multiplying by 2 to 1, because that's your reciprocal. So 1 times 2 divided by 1 is 2. You just have to carry a negative. So that's what that is. So secant of 2/3 pi equals -2. Prove to you on a calculator. Okay, secant is 1 divided by cosine. So I know it should be -2, so I don't have to type in a -2. I know that. I know what to expect. So I'm going to go 1 divided by cosine and 2 pi divided by 3. There. Okay? Now your work has to be shown. You have to know how to do this, because your calculator will take care of that, but what's the point? The point is to learn how to do it by hand. Alright? Let me see, I got one more. Like I said, this one is now 6 minutes, so it should be like an 8-minute video. Cotangent, we haven't talked about cotangent, okay? At 5 pi over 6. So cotangent is sine over, tangent is sine over sine, sine over cosine. So tangent is sine over cosine. Cotangent would be the flip of that, the reciprocal. So the cosine would be on top, and a sine would be in the bottom. Repeating myself here, tangent is sine on top of a cosine in the bottom. Cotangent is the reciprocal of that. So that should be at the same angle of 5 pi over 6. So you can probably know how to do it by now, okay? If you paid attention in the last 2 or 3 examples. So 5 pi over 6 is this guy. All right? Cosine is the x. The sine is the y. So now if you look over here, you're going to take the x divided by the y. So the x is your -3√2. -3 over root of 2 divided by the y, which is 1/2. Okay? Now multiply by the 1/2 reciprocal, which is 2 to 1. So when I simplify the answer, it should just be -√3. All right, so cotangent, again, you don't have the cotangent on your calculator. So we'll use the same technique we did in the last secant and cosecant. We'll do 1 divided by 10, because that's your reciprocal. So we're going to type in 5 pi over 6. And then that's going to be some random decimal point, -1.73 and stuff. But this is the same number as that one. So that's -√3. So negative square root 3. Boom. Same exact number. So that means we had done everything correctly. All right. I'll see you in the next video.